when I was doing it back in the day, I mean, it didn't matter what club you played in. You were playing to, you know, a packed house because people just went out and that's what they did. So it didn't really matter. You always playing in front, you know, you're gaining 50 fans every time you go out there. It's just a different world now as far as music goes. So, and high gas prices is a lot of things that cause that. So I know we diverted off, you know, what, you know, we always do that on the show. So. But it's definitely cool that you're still going. Is there any other side projects you're working on, or are you strictly focused on a fine line?
No, I'm strictly with the fine line.
Nice.
Yeah, the writing style is so different that I can't even fathom being with another band at the same time.
Yeah, it's always good to you know have one band. I mean, I tried that multiple band stuff and. It always tends to bring the influence. I mean, I was just listening to something where they were talking about it's the other show on my channel, The Plot Holes. They were talking about how Slipknot kind of became Stone Sour. It's the truth. It really is the truth. I mean, the two sounds just kind of like blended together. I mean, they're still heavy, but it comes more across the later stuff as more Stone Sour sounding, but
yeah, they still got their heaviness, but essentially it's pretty much became Stone Sour with heavier riffs.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I hate talking about other bands. Actually, I love it.
I don't hate Slipknot at all. I mean, I still love Slipknot, but everyone's got their opinion of voice. It's just a you know, that's what happens when you play in multiple bands. Like, you know, it's hard for me to even listen to other music when I write music because I tend to be influenced by some of it and it starts to sound like it. So yeah, I've been there.
It's just a natural progression, I guess, as far as that goes. I mean, if I'm listening to a lot of industrial metal, that's the influence.
That's what you're going to feel like writing.
But yeah. I was playing in a punkish type of band at one time with a regular rock band, and I kind of started feeling myself, my lyrics and the way I'm pronouncing and singing is coming across that way, and I had to steer myself back into the rock metal realm when I was recording some of those things. So it's pretty cool, but I love all different types of
when we're
music.
writing, I tend to try not to listen to pretty much anything I would normally listen to, or just even our own music, because I always want to try and go out there for something different that, you know, I've never heard. And if I try writing stuff like stuff I've heard, you know, I'm just going to remake that song.
Yeah, because that happens a lot. It's like, that's why I started, like, when I'm in writing mode or whatever, when I used to do a lot of writing, I would shut down everything I'm listening to, because then I'm listening to it back and I'm like, that sounds exactly like one of the Dope songs. I start hearing my own influences in it. So, and I don't like that. I always wanted it to be more of an original thing. I didn't want people to hear those influences. And then I'm like, well, whatever. That's what was in my head when I did the song. So I'm not going to go ahead and change it. But
yeah, my lead guitar player, Oscar, I never thought anybody would ever get me into jazz, but I just like slowly been getting into jazz. Just he's a jazz trained guitarist and saxophonist.
Yeah, no.
So like when he goes into metal, he just kind of infuses the jazz.
I mean, just as you know, for you to be a drummer to learn and, you know, have a jazz influence, that's going to take your drumming to a whole nother level too. So.
Yeah, and just, you know, listening to new music, like jazz, for example.
Yeah, it definitely broadens. I mean, I never understood why people always, you know, just because something doesn't sound good to you. I mean, George Michael isn't, you know, I'm not a fan of his, but he's a great musician. Obviously, he did something right to sell millions and millions of records.
No, yeah, of course.
It's just not for me. I mean, I listen to a lot of these pop things, and I'm like, you know, but that's what kids listen to. That's the stuff they listen to. How could I knock them for, you know, being a fan of that music and then going out and creating it? It's just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah. Like my girlfriend and I were just talking. We heard Lady Gaga's voice, and she was singing something like, "Wow, like that's fucking awesome." But she has a great voice. I'm not into her music, but
yeah, that doesn't mean she's terrible. I mean, she's
exactly yeah.
She went from nothing to being a background singer and in a local little like dance type of band to selling billions of records. I mean, she's doing something right. I mean, she's definitely a talented person. I mean, but
I mean, just her music's not for me though. But
right, exactly. That's
incredible singer though.
People like, oh, you should listen to that. I do listen to all different types of music, and I listen to metal, I listen to rock. There's some pop things I like. I was just talking to one of the segment producers about Linkin Park. He knows I'm not really a big fan. I don't think they're a bad band. I think the first album was very innovative in what they were doing. I don't like the rapper guy on every album. Every song sounds exactly the same to me. And actually, the guy Chester is in a little battle with my segment producer because he's upset he bought the new album on vinyl and CD and he doesn't like it. He thinks it's pop and they sold out. So he asked Chester for his money back. That's the greatest shit. I think he's going to talk about it tonight on his segment. But
good.
I just thought it was fun.
I'll definitely have to listen to that.
I thought it was funny shit. And because last week I was like, all right, so you sold out. I was just saying it because I wanted him to come punch me in the mouth so I can be the 7th member of Linkin Park because we're going to own it. But, the guy's got to respect that, some of his fans are going to be upset. I mean, I don't think the new song is necessarily that bad. It's just, it's not for me. But if that's the music you want to write from your heart, I can't knock you for it. I can just knock you for the things you're saying. But it's not for me. I haven't been a Linkin Park fan probably since the first album. So it's just one of those things that, I don't think they're a bad band. Obviously they're good. People are spending fucking $15 on a CD. So
yeah, I mean, either accept the change or you don't.
Yep. That's it. I mean, and there's a lot of people that like it, so it is what it is. I mean, I didn't like him. I think he killed Stone Temple Pilots to me. When he was part of Stone Temple Pilots, I couldn't, and I think that's made me what disliked him more. It wasn't for me. I can't see the guy from Linkin Park replacing Scott Weiland.
No.
But they liked it. They did what they did. Supposedly they have a new singer now. Whatever. I'm still not going to enjoy it as much. It's like even though the guy from Alice in Chains, he was replaced by this other guy. And, it's just not the same to me. It's just one of those things that I can't get past.
It's not the same, but he is pretty damn close.
Yeah, he's good.
He is pretty damn close.
I mean, I like all the songs they put out. I have a hard time with it for some reason. I don't know. I can't get past it for some reason. I mean, Jerry Cantrell does most of the, he was a lot of the sound too, so that helps that whole thing. But he's good, but it's not the same. It'll never be the same. But that's just me. But anything else you want to touch on as far as a fine line, or?
Everyone should just come out to that show on June 1st at the Haven.
At the Haven
in Orlando,
and that's with Martyrs Asylum and who else?
We're going to be opening for Mechanism and who was it? September Morning.
It is September Morning. Yep, I guess that's who Sister Kill Cycle's opening for over here in Tampa. So I guess it's that same.
So when's that?
I think it's June 3rd.
Okay.
When is your show?
We're June 1st.
June 1st. Yeah, I think they're Wednesday, June 3rd, I think.
They're
playing
I
at
believe
the Orpheum.
Tickets are $15 at the door. Doors open at 6:37.
And you guys have tickets for sale?
We do. And if you come through us, they're $12 a ticket.
Nice. No fees. Straight up $12. So
That's right.
You can't beat it. If you're a September Morning fan, a Fine Line, Martyrs Asylum, pick up tickets. I always try to buy them from the local bands because I know what a bitch it is. I mean, I'm going to see the Davey Suicide Show. I bought them from one of the opening bands because I don't like the fees and all that, but it helps them at least, get ticket sales. So
yeah, if there's anyone who's listening that likes us, you can always reach to us on our Facebook page, A Fine Line. You can message us through there. We always answer. Cool, we can get a ticket out to you.
See, that's another band like September Morning. They're not for me. I mean, they sounded great. I seen them with Dope. They were obviously a good band. I'm not a huge fan of them. I think it's because some of the comments the guitar player made a while back. But, I mean, they're obviously doing something right. People are buying tickets to the show. Are you a fan of those guys? Or?
I saw them once, and it was actually reopened for them the first time we played at the Haven as A Fine Line. They weren't bad.
Yeah, they sound
They're good.
Yeah, I just
I'm excited for their show.
It's
on Thursday too.
I didn't really understand the concept. I looked into them more after I seen them with Dope. So they definitely got some like sci-fi kind of concept going on. So it's pretty cool. I mean, they definitely sounded great. They sound, I seen them. The Orpheum to me isn't the best club to see someone in. The sound system's pretty bad, but when I videotaped them, and it sounded great back. I mean, out of all of the bands, they probably sounded the best in that club because of the type of music. They probably had a DAT player or something.
Yeah, probably balanced well there. And it's a shame because it's such a great venue.
Yeah, it is. It's just I don't know their sound system. I mean, it's just I don't know. They overdo it. It looks like you got to take care of your equipment. I mean, you can't just let the people roll into the bar, spend the money, and then not upkeep the shit. If the dust looks like it's about 2 or 3 inches thick on the speaker, so that doesn't really help electronics, but. I mean, it's always good to, when Dope comes to town. So that was one of the reasons I didn't let it really disappoint me. I just enjoyed it for what it was. But not every band's going to sound good in every situation anyway. So, I mean, I played at CBGB's, a legendary club, a couple of times. And we sounded like shit more than we sounded good. But at least we got to play at CBGB's in my lifetime. So that's not something that was easily obtained getting a gig there, or you can't do it now because obviously it's closed, but
oh damn,
it was definitely a great experience to play, where all these other bands like the Ramones and all they got their start, so back in the 70s, and to share that stage and be part of that and say I played there was a great thing. But we sounded like shit.
Definitely a cool experience though.
We sounded like shit. I still have the cassette tape somewhere. It was like, what the hell? We sounded like such shit. But we had a brand new guitarist the first time we played there. Our current guitarist sliced his hand putting an entertainment center together like the day before. I'm like, dude, we are not fucking canceling this show. We are playing CB. So we were a little off our game the first time, but whatever it is, it is. It was.
Yeah. But I mean, I've played at the Orpheum before. I mean, on stage, I guess I could say it sounded good. I was more focused on myself, but I've also seen some shows there. Last time I was there, I actually saw Martyrs play with Uno Dirkenshire and Jeff Soto for 2 separate shows back to back, and the sound could have been better.
Yeah. I mean, it could be, it could have been an off night, but just from all the shows I did and being a musician, it's hard for me to not notice, a shitty sound system. But it could be there, the guy who was, running the front of the house for him, who's
they could have been the headliner's personal guy too, which that's always a big change.
Yeah, but you can't deny that the club is disgusting, bro. I almost wanted to throw up in the bathroom.
Oh my god, no, not that I don't want to talk about the bathroom. Oh Jesus.
But
oh my god,
you know, I still